Good morning and welcome to episode 79 of MorningCraft. Today we're going to be working on a blacksmith's. So, now that I have infinite iron, I decided it was time to work on one of the best fuel sources in the game, and that's lava. But the issue with lava is you need 1, tons of lava, and 2, buckets. But we've got the bucket solved now that we've got the iron golem farm, and so I decided it was time to take care of the lava. I built a lava generator previously, but this time I wanted to build a foundry that was able to produce as much lava as I could handle. I came along and I laid down the foundations for the foundry. And once this was done, I started work on a lava tank, and this was going to be based off the one I made in the last episodes, using some signs. I started off with a rough structure, and I built this out of cobble for now, as I'll be using better materials later. The lava is stored above, and then it drips down into this area below, and creates a really nice effect. And with the rough tank in place, it was time to start work on the lava farm. I moved all my lava into the tank for safekeeping, and then I got to work. I laid down some cauldrons, and then some dripstone. And you can reach the back layer of cauldrons from the front. And with this in place, it was time to test it, so I finished it off and put some lava in. And with the lava in place, the cauldrons began to generate. Inspired by my work, a ton of villagers decided to take up work at the cauldrons. I then started work on a second section of the cauldrons, and then a third one behind the existing array. And in total this gives me 24 cauldrons generating lava. I stored the lava I produced, and then got back to work on the cauldrons. From here it was just a waiting game till I had enough lava to fill up the whole machine. I took a ride over to the iron golem farm to pick up a bit more iron. And you can see all the monsters despawning as I leave the chunk. And as I returned, the iron golems came back into view, and it was time to add some more to the build. I started off by laying down some paths. And then I started work on a small shed in the yard. Initially I wanted to build this a bit bigger, but I decided to decrease its size to make it fit better. And with the shed in place, I put a roof on it, and then I turned the rest of the yard into pathways. I then put a turnstile in where a donkey would go, so it looks like it's powering the whole foundry. I then came around and decided that the cobblestone was a little bit too ugly, so I started to replace parts of it with blackstone and deep slate. I think that's a much better look. I added some extra details on top of the machine, and then I began work on the rest of the build. I added some iron bars to the yard, and then I moved our donkey into his new home. And at this point the entire lava machine was full, so I was going to need the storage tank. I started by replacing the majority of it with iron blocks. These give a really industrial feel to the tank, and with all the shiny iron blocks in place, it was time to work on the internals. I added these trapdoors so that I could walk around the lava to harvest it without getting caught. I then added a bunch of glass to make this look like a real tank. And then I filled up the machine with lava. And we had a few lightning strikes. And there we have it, the completed Foundry. I really like this build as it's a bit different to the rest of the builds I've done, and it's not the prettiest, but it really feels like it has purpose. And there we have it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've had a good morning, and I'll see you in the next episode of MorningCraft.